We're recording.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ulysses Butch Slaughter, Chester Made Program Manager, here for Remain Creative Motivation Monday. And I am so honored, so happy to see three faces that I haven't seen in too long of a time. And those three faces are the faces of our esteemed Chester Made residents. We started a residency program at MJ Free Theater in fall of 2019, and you have the opportunity today to check in with, I see Marcy Morris, Sistah Mafalda, and Mama Misty Soul are with us. What's up, everybody?
Well,
Hey.
That's right, make some noise, right? It's been too long since we made some noise together.
I know, we gotta strike it up. Wake up the streets. Everybody's been sleeping.
Yeah. I can't wait to get back out on the street on some stilts.
That's right.
Smell some tea, Misty,
Yeah.
and do some portraits, Marcy.
Yes.
So while we go around the clock for people who have not met you all before, you are our first class of Chester Made residents at MJ Free Theater. You are the ones. So take a minute, introduce yourself. Mafalda, Sistah Mafalda, tell our audience who you are.
Hi, how you doing, everybody? What's happening, Chester? It's Motivation Monday. I'm Sistah Mafalda, honored to see or talk to you again. And I'm a resident artist from the recent Chester Made residence. And I am a stilt walker dancer, percussionist.
Okay.
To make beats and some noise in the streets. Ow, I'm a mom. I'm a resident of the Chester community. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. Yes, that's me, Sistah Mafalda, Mama M.
Right on. And then we're going to go down. I see in my view at the 6 o'clock is Mama Misty Soul. What's happening, Misty?
Hey, Ulysses, how are you? Happy Motivation Monday. I am another one of the Chester residents, artists in residence. I am a painter and I'm also a gardener. And so my residency was talking to Chester residents about health and wellness and making good food.
Well, it makes sense that the next person is also, her name begins with an M as well. I wrote to you all that this was going to be the 3M Motivation Monday. So we got Marcy Morris. Marcy, what's happening?
Hey, Ulysses. It's nice to see you and everyone here. It's really exciting. It feels nice to connect. And I think that's exactly what Chester Made Residency was for me, was connecting with Chester, highlighting leaders through portraits. So I got to sit down with leaders of the community, hear their story, you know, from their childhood to present, you know, what they're doing for the community, and also create their portrait, a live portrait. So that was part of my residency, as well as bringing these portraits into Chester Community Charter School and working with the children, creating live portraits there, teaching them portrait skills, and also for them to, shared with me that, they wanted to learn something beyond portraits, and they wanted to just like let their artistic flow, just happen. So it was really.
You know what, Marcy? As I listen to you talk, that's how you do things. When you start to flow, you start to flow. And I'm gonna flow over here right quick to Sistah Mafalda, because Sistah Mafalda, one of the things that I recall about your residency was the courage of your students hopping on those stilts. I mean, students acted like they were born on stilts.
I know.
What do you miss about your residency, Sistah Mafalda?
Well, maybe before I say what I missed, or it ties into what I enjoyed, if I can just go right into that.
Absolutely.
Question, what I enjoyed most was those eyes, was that courage, that many of them were a little bit apprehensive, but they showed up every Saturday with excitement to learn something new, something rare, and take it like a baby taking first steps. And that was one of the students, Gaia, thin and small like a gazelle or an antelope. And I literally and Lori was there, you know, I think witnessing this moment, that particular, but Taylor also was there and witnessed so many moments of like transformation in these kids. And so when she began to walk and her knees looked and shaped like a little baby gazelle coming out of the womb, I felt like a mom. I felt like that I had just given birth to a new generation, a new nation of stilt walkers, Chakara, Moko Jumbies, and all I can do is say like, amen, amen. I miss each and every one of them. And I hope they'll start to tune in to Motivation Monday. It should be a part of the curriculum. Right, guys?
I think you're absolutely
That's
right.
right.
You know, your illustration, I'm sitting there picturing the times that I've seen National Geographic, Mafalda. You see
Yes.
those animals come out and they start
Yeah.
to do that kind of thing and they trying to get their footing, you know. That's an excellent illustration. And I can't wait to see that again because you brought so much energy to the avenue that
Yes.
it was just incredible. And I'm gonna go now to Mama Misty. The
All right.
way that you, Misty, were able to create such a cool, quiet space for your participants was something to behold. Talk a little bit about what the work that you did as a resident.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to talk about space, and what I enjoyed most was the space that we were able to create to talk about health. In the Black community, a lot of times we talk about, you know, the pressures we're under or the negativity that's going on, but I wanted to make sure we made space to talk about being well, being healthy, what it takes, the beauty in it, the fun and the deliciousness of it. And I really enjoyed the intimacy of cooking food for folks in their own spaces. And then we had one session at the theater where we were able to make a really private, almost home space in a public space. And that event was with Marcy. We were able to have tea and conversation with some community folk, and it was just beautiful.
So let me ask you this goes to any one of you. What did you learn about yourself in the residency process? You know, you spent weeks, you spent hours preparing for weeks of work. What was it like preparing for the residencies?
Wow. For me, if I may speak, I think that what I learned about myself as an artist is that it's okay to teach and learn at the same time. And as I delve deeper into my craft and the history of stilt walking, I think that we as artists, you know, many of us all have our own originality and uniqueness, even if it's both Misty, my fellow resident artist, Misty, and both Marcy and Kenneth and his partner and Devin, some of the other Chester Maid family, they all are visual artists. You guys all have that same talent, but each one different, each one unique with its own perspective and projectile on it. Same thing with stilt walking, but I was also able to collaborate in my residency with Baba Ira, master stilt walker from Kulumele from Philly, and he made the stilts. So as he spoke, I too was in the arsenal, and again, I keep going back to the other Chester Maid family that was always there, Taylor and Laurie and yourself, that you also was taking it in step by step, even the crafting of them. I'm not a stilt maker, a stilt walker. So being able to be with my students and learn with them is something I guess with myself, I said, it's okay. You don't have to, we're not born masters. We have to get there. Give yourself 10 years and then maybe you can start to, you know, really shape and carve out your own unique take on it, which makes you a master at what you do.
Thank you so
Let's
much.
say amen. Motivation Monday or we preaching Sunday? What is it? Somebody tell me. We don't know what day it is. Chime in, my fellows. Chime in.
Well, can we get an amen from Marcy or Misty?
Yes, yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
What did you two enjoy about the residency? What did you learn about yourself?
I learned how to create space for stories in a private stage. So I'm used to telling stories on a stage. I guess I didn't talk about being a storyteller. So all of my work is about storytelling, even the visual art. And so it's usually on a stage or on a page in a book. But I learned that for the African American community, the kitchen and the dining room table can be a sort of performance space. And so I learned how to create that. And so for me, the residency was very experimental. I'd never done anything like that before. And so it was a whole new experience for me as far as performance.
Awesome.
Marcy, you're up.
I learned, I think, to be a better listener, or just to, because I find that I talk a lot, but and I learned to be quiet and be still and tune into that quiet voice inside, and also to really, really absorb what the adults that I was interviewing, to really absorb and allow their story to come into me, along with the kids. Like, I learned that, I thought I had a certain vision,
Right.
but that the children's needs, I wanted to listen to their voice and what they wanted, as opposed to just what I had to bring to the table. And I know that that's, it goes both ways.
Right.
You have to have, you just have to be still sometimes and listen. As a teacher, that's such an important component, because it's not about you. It's not just about you. It's a flow.
Right. And I think that's the thing that I saw when I had an opportunity to observe you all with the different people that you worked with, is that you weren't above the activity that you were involved with. You were immersed in it as a resident. It wasn't like you came in as a know-it-all. You certainly come in as authorities, but you also came in learning, and that seems to be crucial to what it means to be an artist, is to be a consistent learner. Would you agree with that, Mafalda?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I guess I felt like a student walking in. And then once they all came and embraced me, it's like, oh, wow, okay, they came here to hear what I've got to say, or
Right.
say what I have to teach them. But the energy of that excitement was collective and crossed the board, that yes, it was like a new experience every day, because it was a new group, a new and different audience, and a new mark, and new seeds,
Right.
planted in the earth, in the ground, in the streets of Chester. So
Yeah.
it was all new. The residency had never been done before. So that in and of itself was a new and different experience walking through the door.
I'm glad you said that. And Misty, when I think about the residency, going back to that space that you were able to hold for people, I know you were having conversations, very intimate conversations with people who were not used to being given that kind of attention, who were not used to being held the way you held them. How did that change? How did that residency aspect change the way you're doing work right now? Or did it?
It definitely did, because health and wellness is a big part of what I do. And it comes from my grandmother being a farmer, and me being able to honor her legacy in Chester by being a farmer. But there's a difference between growing the food and bringing it into your kitchen and cooking it, or actually telling somebody that this tomato can replace that junk food that you like, and that belongs to us. Like, that's our heritage, that health and that vitality. Because food can be really personal, and you can offend people, if you give them information the wrong way. And so this was, it was a model for me. It was kind of proof of concept that we can share information, and the same way that negativity travels really fast, like good news travels fast too, and folks are receptive to it, and we can create loving spaces to heal each other and to be together and all of that. So, yeah.
Marcy, you did this thing with a number of leaders. I remember the sketch that I saw you do with Van Buren Payne
Yes.
as part of your residency, which was beautiful. How important was it for you as a resident, student, learner, teacher to connect with people like Van Buren Payne, who also resident, learner, teacher, student? How important was that, and what was that like for you to do that work?
Sure. It was an honor for me because when I met Van many years ago, along with other artists at the Duchamp Museum, I looked up to him, and his artwork, his artwork was hanging on the walls, and he was also a photographer. So, and he was so friendly and encouraging, and he taught me things. So when I interviewed him, it was important because I got to hear his whole story in context, and to learning all these different aspects of what made him who he is, and what he stands for as an artist, as an African-American man. Just it was an honor to be in his presence and hear everything that he had to share.
Really appreciate that. And speaking of sharing, we're going to do this. I hope that the 3M's here are going to join us on Motivation Monday.
Hey, I like it.
That's going to have to be the thing. The 3M
Right.
Motivation Monday, right? Maybe
Right.
Kate has a middle name that begins with an M. We're going to have to check into that.
All right.
But
Well,
let me ask you all this, because we're going to cut this off in a couple of minutes, but I don't want to leave without giving an audience, our community, a sense of the kind of things that you're working on. This is Motivation Monday. We remain creative.
yes.
All three of you have had some phenomenal pieces that you've shared over the last few weeks. So
Yes.
what are you going to do with this week? What are you working on right now?
Wow.
Okay.
Well, Misty?
Okay, I'll go first. What am I working on? A couple of stories. Working on a storytelling project. I did a workshop at Swarthmore last year on Black women's ways of knowing, like intuition and feelings and all that. Dreams, just information that you get through non-traditional methods. So I'm working on making that a larger project.
Great.
Little
What you got, Marcy?
Sure. So when I was creating portraits during my residency, I mostly focused on charcoal portraits, and I'm just showing some examples right now.
Nice.
And you mentioned the Van. Here's Van.
Oh, wow.
There you go. And so from that, what's evolved is creating portraits that have a lot of color. Like these are friends who are singers, another friend who's another singer. So,
wow.
Like all of a sudden it was like, right now I need a lot of color, a lot of energy. It's because I need that right now. It's like,
Definitely.
I just need to drink as many colors in as I can. That's what it feels like.
Wow.
Wow,
That's awesome.
Just express it. Yeah.
Yes.
Sister Mafalda.
Yes. Okay, what I'm working on is a rap right now. Mr. Mom, Marcy Morris, Sistah, Mafalda, Misty Soul. You lose instead, you got it. Get it, ready. Not the Monday blues. You can take off your Monday shoes. Get down with the Motivation Monday. Get down and I'ma do it my way. What? And then tonight you'll see me live on Be Live app with Nathaniel Gatson from the Storytellers from Harrisburg. So it's a Facebook Live show tonight. Oh God, sorry. And so you can check me out 8:30, everybody. Well, anyway, I know it's actually live time right now that I'm speaking. It'll be tonight, which is Thursday evening. It's every Thursday. Nathaniel Gatson, Facebook Live. So that'll be a great experience. And that was a contact that I got from a post on Coates's website, Keepers of the Culture. Mr. Nathaniel Gatson saw the post of Motivation Monday, Revolution will not be televised, and contacted me. So thank you again, Chester Maid, always. And as we continue to evolve and the story gets out and grows wider, taller. So
That's
thank
right.
you so much.
That's right. And you're right, Sister Mafalda. We will keep it up. I think the beautiful thing about art, and Kenny Hunt said this in one of the Remain creative pieces that he did. He said it's under stress, it's under change that artists really rise to the challenge. And so it's not like you stop,
Right,
because things seem to have gotten difficult or things have changed. As you say, Misty, you just changed the storyline a little bit. It's just like it's another chapter. We don't stop. We just
right.
figure out another way to tell the story. So
Amen.
we are going to do this again.
Okay.
We got to get really good at this. We're going to get really good at this. So we're going to come back as often as possible, talking to the Chester Maid community, telling them, remain creative.
That's
Do
right.
not stop. And
That's right.
we're going to post this up for Motivation Monday. And
Right.
any last words from the three of you all about remaining creative?
I think it's about survival. You have to. We're making masks. I'm teaching the girls in the neighborhood to make masks. Everybody got to wear masks. You know, necessity breeds invention. It's the mother of creation. And you know, so we need that. So try to do something in your neighborhood. Try to do something with your neighbors. Something that's going to be productive to the world that we're in right now. Make those masks. Masquerade.
Right on. Marcy, Misty.
Yeah, breathe. Creativity should be as easy as breathing, and you have a right to that. You, the healthy, take care of your stress, to remain creative, to remain connected to your spirit and to your community, to each other. Just always find ways. It's your right.
Thank you so much. Marcy.
Get out your materials, your pencils, your markers, paintbrushes, whatever you have at home, and start moving your hand. Start moving. You need to be in motion.
That's right.
Don't think about, you don't have to worry about what it's looking like. Let the lines speak to you and let yourself experiment. That's what my suggestion. And move your hand.
Right.
You know, just like you are knocked out the park, the first residency series, you are knocked out the park, the first Motivation Monday Roundtable. Every time you all do something first, you all do it right, and it's going to be hard for somebody to do it better.
Hey, that's right. We do it right. Yes. Let's make some noise. Coming real hard. Gonna do it. Motivation Monday. Ow. Peace out, everybody.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Butch Slaughter. This is the 3M session. We'll see you all in a little while. Taylor, take us out of here. Take care.
Uh-oh, I thought she was gonna rap. Peace.